So Snow White is shaping up to not go over well with people. As we can see here on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie currently is sitting at a 46% with critics. And I've been checking, to see what else is here, if it changes at all, everything as it reloads, because I made it big. Still at 46. But generally, in the reviews, okay, of all the Disney princesses to revisit, Snow White was a base gamble, and unfortunately, it doesn't really pay off with a fresh. This new take may try to be more adult, but it ends up being clunky and often strident and an uncomfortable blend of modernity and an old-timey storytelling. 2 out of 4. Sweet and delightful with great production design, but lacks the magic and charm of the beloved original. Well, it was going to lack that because it's a remake. And that's all, honestly, it's all we're going to be getting from Disney over the next several years, because they have today just announced Coco 2, The Incredibles 3. What was the other sequel? I saw it, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the other sequel was. Oh, Encanto 2. But even the fresh reviews aren't overly positive. Like, as far as live-action remakes go, have courage, be kind, and fight fascism is a fitting message for the moment, even if it comes wrapped in a pretty garish package. That's not glowing. Has Snow White ever arrived with such baggage? Godot is a lot of fun. Zegler is likable enough and sings like an angel. It's almost an hour shorter than Wicked. Well, there's that for some people. Yeah, it's just... Here's the thing. This movie is 2 hours. And just based on some of the early stuff, I am hearing that this is boring. It's hard to sit through as an adult. There's going to be a lot of parents questioning whether or not, the price of a ticket would be worth it. And I would say, if you have a child under 10, I would probably not take them to this just because it's 2 hours. Like, I don't think, children under 10 would be able to make it through the 2 hours, because people seem to forget, to a kid, 2 hours is a long time. As an adult, it's, not that long for us, but kids, it's long. And just all, neither good enough to admire nor bad enough to joyfully skewer. Its mediocrity is among its biggest bummers. Well, yeah, that makes me really, really, just a movie I'm not going to remember. And, that does bring me to the Lilo and Stitch movie posters that were released right before or right after the review embargo lifted, which kind of says to me they're like, okay, we're just ready to move on to Lilo and Stitch, because Lilo and Stitch went over very well. I'll probably do like a thing, video about the trailer and everything. I'm not the biggest Lilo and Stitch fan, but I have seen it. I thought it was, a pretty cute movie when I finally watched it, but again, wasn't the biggest fan when it first came out. But funnily enough, the Snow White poster with Stitch is actually the least viewed out of the 4 they released, because they did a Cinderella one, they did one for Aladdin, and they did one for Beauty and the Beast, which is very similar to the marketing they did for the original over 20 years ago. But it kind of says to me that they're just ready to move on, and it also kind of says that I don't think people really care about Snow White. Another point is that Snow White is the oldest Disney princess, and when I thought about this, someone else said this, Clownfish TV said this, and I thought about it from the perspective too. Disney hasn't really released anything like a sequel for Snow White ever. She might have popped up in like the House of Mouse cartoon that I remember when I was a kid in the background, but she never had her own dedicated sequel. All the other Disney princesses have, except for Aurora too, I guess, but she, people got reintroduced to her through the Maleficent movies. You had the Cinderella remake, and Cinderella had this, Cinderella 2 and Cinderella 3, and I can't really comment on those. I haven't seen them. And then, little girls today are going to absolutely probably be like, I love Elsa or Anna or Moana, maybe Tiana, because those are more recent. People from my generation, which would be the Disney Renaissance kids, they would probably say Ariel or Belle or Mulan or Jasmine, maybe Cinderella, maybe Aurora, but nobody really said Snow White. And it's not that people wouldn't have liked the original. It was probably just like, she was so far removed from all the others because of time and everything, and maybe because it's the first thing Disney ever did as a movie. I don't really see that many little girls be like, I absolutely love Snow White. I'm sure they exist, but I have not seen little girls who absolutely love Snow White. So, it's a good point that I didn't think about. I mean, it's not looking good for them, but I will also end this video with a tweet from the official Walt Disney, Twitter. Everyone marching to the comments when they see a new Snow White post. I'm probably going to see this at some point because I'm kind of curious. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. And if you like the video, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.